Hello beautiful people, and welcome back to my channel. If you are a new subscriber, welcome. If you are a returning subscriber, welcome back. Everything that I use in this video will be listed down below, so feel free to check that out, as well as all of my social medias. Also, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and also share with a friend. First, I started off by moisturizing my face and adding on some primer. Now I'm just applying my foundation, and I normally do my eyes first, but today I just felt like doing my foundation first. And I'm starting off with a little bit of foundation, blending that into my skin. And this foundation is buildable, so I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit more to the parts of my face that has the most hyperpigmentation. And then I'm going to proceed to blend that out. Before I move on to the other side, I want to make sure that everything is completely blended. To highlight my face, I'm going in with my Tarte concealer. This is a full coverage concealer. If you have a concealer that is not full coverage, if you let your concealer sit for like a minute or two, you will get a full coverage concealer. The longer you let it sit, the more coverage you'll get, but I wouldn't let it sit past 2 minutes because it'll be harder for you to blend out, especially if it's a concealer that dries down fast. I'm going to start off by blending out the concealer on my forehead. And I'm taking my time, especially when I get close to my brows, because I don't want to mess up my hard work. But I'm really just packing that in, making sure that everything is nice and blended so I don't have any harsh lines. As you can see right there, I have a line that separates from the foundation as well as the concealer. And what I'm going to do later is just add a little more concealer to fix that problem. So I went in with a little too much concealer. So now I'm just taking my foundation brush and I'm really blending it in, making sure that again, I get rid of that harsh line, but also going to get rid of that line with some bronzer as well. So don't worry if it's not completely gone. Now I'm going to go ahead and blend out the outer edges of the concealer underneath my eyes just to make sure that, again, I don't have any harsh lines. And as I'm blending this out, as you can see, I'm not going all the way to the front just yet. I'm going to go ahead and use a sponge for that part. But I'm making sure that I press this in completely to dry it down and making sure that everything is moved to exactly where I want it to be. I'm going to take my foundation brush to blend out those edges a little more so that when I go to add on my bronzer that it blends perfect. Now I'm just taking my Damps Beauty blender and I'm blending out the rest of that concealer. And right here, I'm really just pressing very lightly because as a beauty blender is supposed to do, is soak up extra product. And I don't want it to soak up too much of that concealer. Now I'm going in with my final step of concealer just to add a little more lightness to the face. And with this concealer, I'm going to let this sit for a little while I go ahead and add on my bronzer. Now with this bronzer, it is very pigmented, so I'm making sure starting off I'm adding on a little at a time and then building it up if needed. And when blending this out, you want to blend into your hairline as well as blend up towards your concealer. You can do this after you completely blended out your concealer. I just like to go ahead and do mine a little early. It's totally up to you. And to make sure I'm blending out the edges completely, I'm going in with my foundation brush and patting that in, making sure that everything is nice and blended together. Now I'm going to blend out the rest of this concealer using that brush, doing the same steps that I did earlier and making sure that I really take my time when doing this. And now I'm just going to go in with my setting powder just to set that concealer into place. Really making sure that I press this in underneath my eyes to make sure that everything is evenly set. Everywhere that I added that concealer, I'm going to go ahead and add this powder just to make sure again that everything is nice and set before moving on to the next step. And don't worry if you think you use too much powder, you just have to make sure that you blend all that powder out at the end of the day. I also like to use this translucent powder to set my eyebrows in place. This also helps remove the shine from the brows. Now to set that foundation for the rest of my face, I'm going in with the setting powder that I mixed together, and I'm just blending it out, and I'm also going over the bronzer just a little bit to make sure that that is nice and packed in as well. And this will just help lock everything into place. Taking a different foundation brush to make sure I'm blending everything out and dusting away any excess product. Now I'm going to go ahead with that same bronzer and I'm going to bronze my nose. I did go in a little heavy closer to my brows, but I'm going to show you how I fix that in just a second. And now I'm just going to completely blend that out, and I'm going to fade that color into like my transition color. And I'm just going to continue to blend until I'm satisfied with how everything comes together. And I'm going to go ahead and go in with my mixture one more time. This will help clean up any lines that if you have messed up, as well as I'm adding a little more product underneath my eyes. This will help catch any fallout from the eyeshadow. Now I'm just taking my bronzer, and that's what I'm using for my transition color, and I'm just going to go ahead and stamp that into place and then blend it out, making sure that everything is nice and evenly blended before moving on. And as you see, I do a lot of little circular motions as well as back and forth motions. This just to make sure that everything is evenly blended. Now I'm going in with a NYX glitter pigment, and with this glitter pigment, I thought it would match my shirt a little better, but it's more of a greenish blue, and I don't know the name off top of my head, but again, everything will be listed down below, so feel free to check that out. But it's still a cute color, so I just decided to keep going with it, and I'm just placing that all over my lid, and then I'm going to go back in between the two shades and blend those together again so I don't have any harsh lines. Okay, and now I'm satisfied with how everything looks, so I'm gonna dust away all that excess powder and making sure that I really remove that completely. This is a clean triangle puff, and I'm just making sure that I really press the rest of the excess powder into place. I love the look the way that it is, but I decided to add some white to the inner corners, and I'm gonna really pack this white in to build the color up to make sure that it's exactly how I want it to look, and I love how this look turned out. I did this look the night before when I went to go see the fireworks for National Day here in the UAE, but I didn't get to record me doing the look, but I did get a little clip of me walking outside, but it was kind of dark outside, so I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but I will insert the clip right now. And I just did a quick little makeup look, a simple lip. I didn't get to record me doing this makeup look, so I probably will be redoing one tomorrow. And I'm just going to make sure that I blend that white and that green together. And hope you all enjoyed this look as much as I did making it. And I will see you in the next video. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and also share with a friend.